I used to believe confidence was something other people had been born with. You know the type. They walk into a room and instantly command attention, as if everyone naturally respects them. Meanwhile, I was the one replaying conversations in my head at night, wondering if I had said something stupid, doubting whether people even liked me. My mind was a battlefield of insecurities. And here's the thing, I thought confidence would come once I achieved enough. More success, more money, more compliments. But the truth was, the more I chased external validation, the weaker I felt inside. It was like drinking salt water. It quenched my thirst for a moment, but left me emptier afterward. What finally broke that cycle was a single mindset shift, one rooted in the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." When I first read that, it hit me like a thunderbolt. I realized I was not suffering because of what people thought of me. I was suffering because of the meaning I attached to it. Their opinions weren't the chains, my dependence on them was. That's when it clicked. Real confidence doesn't come from controlling how the world sees you. It comes from controlling how you see yourself. From that day, I began practicing a new mindset. I will not live for their approval. I will live by my values. At first, living this mindset was difficult because self-doubt is a habit you've probably been practicing for years without realizing it. Every time you over-apologize, every time you shrink your opinion, every time you say yes when you wanted to say no, you strengthen the belief that your worth depends on pleasing others. I had to retrain my mind like rebuilding a weak muscle. Seneca gave me the key when he wrote, "A man is not free who is a slave to the opinion of others." I began asking myself daily, am I living for their judgment, or am I living for my principles? Slowly, the shift took hold. I noticed something profound. When you stop performing for approval, you stop being controlled by fear. You stop trembling at rejection, because rejection no longer defines you. Instead, you start seeing it as feedback, as information, as just another step in growth. And ironically, the less you try to impress people, the more they begin to respect you. Confidence radiates not from chasing eyes, but from walking your path with integrity. To apply this, I built small daily rituals, journaling one truth about myself I was proud of, keeping even the smallest promises to myself, like finishing a workout or reading one page, and reframing every mistake as a lesson instead of proof of inadequacy. Confidence became less about faking it and more about keeping my word to myself. And once you do that long enough, the voice of doubt begins to fade into the background, replaced by a quiet strength that feels unshakable. The mindset that built my confidence forever can be summed up in one line: detach your worth from their opinions and anchor it in your values. When you live this way, you no longer panic in social settings, you no longer collapse when criticized, and you no longer feel small next to someone else's success. Instead, you carry yourself with calm assurance, because your foundation is internal, not external. Of course, this doesn't mean you'll never feel fear again. Fear will always whisper, but it no longer gets the final vote. The Stoics practiced this by visualizing challenges, preparing their minds in advance, and remembering that what others think is outside their control. And that's the ultimate paradox of confidence. The less you obsess over being confident, the more naturally it flows. People feel drawn to someone who doesn't need their validation, and you can become that person, not overnight, but with consistent practice. Start small. Write one affirmation each morning. Hold eye contact a second longer than usual. Choose silence instead of over-explaining. And remind yourself that rejection is never a reflection of your worth. Over time, you'll realize what I realized. Confidence is not something to chase. It's something you choose every day by refusing to hand your power away. And once you embrace that, your life changes. You walk taller, you speak clearer, and you stop living like a prisoner of doubt. This is the mindset that built my confidence forever. And it can build yours too. So tell me, are you ready to step into that unshakable version of yourself? If yes, comment below. I choose confidence.